My name is Ethan, and this is the story of how I found myself at a crossroads, caught between loyalty to my family and the desperate need to reclaim my identity. I was 21 when it all started, fresh out of college and working my first real job. I wasn't exactly raking in the cash, but I was proud of what I had accomplished. I'd taken over the attic bedroom in our modest suburban home, a space I'd spent months fixing up to make it my own. But everything changed one rainy Thursday evening. I remember it vividly. I came home after a long day at work, soaked from the rain, only to find the living room crammed with boxes and suitcases. My mom stood by the kitchen counter, chatting animatedly with a woman I barely recognized. She looked familiar, maybe one of Mom's old high school friends, but I couldn't place her. "Ethan," Mom called out, her voice unusually cheerful. "Come meet Laura and her kids." Laura turned, flashing me a wide smile. "Hi, Ethan. It's so nice to finally meet you. Your mom has told me so much about you." I nodded, still trying to process the situation. Hi. Nice to meet you too." Mom clapped her hands together. "Laura and the kids are going to stay with us for a while. Isn't that great?" "Great." I didn't know what to say. I glanced toward the staircase, my heart sinking. "Wait, where are they staying?" Mom hesitated for a split second before responding. "Oh, they'll be in the attic. My room." Later that night, I found myself squeezed into the tiny guest room downstairs, surrounded by boxes of my belongings. The attic, my sanctuary, was now filled with bunk beds and children's toys. I couldn't believe it, Mom tried to explain. "Laura's going through a tough time. Her husband left her, and she has nowhere else to go. And that means kicking me out of my room?" I snapped. Mom's expression hardened. "Ethan, don't be selfish. We're family. We help people in need." I wanted to argue, but what could I say? I'd always been taught to put others first, to be the reliable one. But this felt different. It felt like I was being pushed aside. Days turned into weeks, and the tension in the house grew unbearable. Laura's kids, Sam and Lily, were sweet, but they were also noisy and messy. They'd taken over not just the attic but the whole house. Meanwhile, I was paying the bulk of the household bills. Mom had cut back on her hours at work to help Laura, and the financial burden had shifted squarely onto my shoulders. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day at work, I came home to find my favorite guitar, a prized possession I'd saved for years to buy, in Sam's hands. "Hey, that's mine!" I shouted. Sam's eyes widened in surprise. "Mom said I could use it." Laura appeared in the doorway. "Ethan, please don't yell at him. He's just a kid." I clenched my fists. "That guitar is off limits. Period." Mom intervened, her voice sharp. "Ethan, stop being so dramatic." Dramatic? I felt like I was losing my mind. The breaking point came when I overheard Laura talking to Mom late one night. "Honestly, I don't know how I'd manage without you," Laura said. "I don't think I'll be able to move out anytime soon." Mom's response? "Don't worry about it. Ethan will handle the bills." That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. The next morning, I packed my things. I left a note for Mom, explaining that I needed space, that I couldn't keep shouldering the burden without any consideration for my own well-being. Moving out wasn't easy. I had to crash at a friend's place for a few weeks before finding a small apartment. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Mom called me repeatedly, leaving voicemails filled with guilt-tripping messages. "How could you do this to us? Laura needs our help. We're a family." But for the first time in months, I felt free. Time passed. I focused on my career, steadily climbing the ranks at work. I still sent money home occasionally, but I set boundaries. Mom didn't like it at first, but eventually she came around. One day, out of the blue, Mom called. "Ethan, can we talk?" she asked, her voice softer than I'd ever heard it. We met for coffee. She apologized for how things had played out. "I didn't realize how much I was asking of you," she admitted. "I just wanted to help Laura, but I see now that I hurt you in the process." It wasn't an instant fix, but it was a start. Laura eventually found a job and moved out. Mom and I worked on rebuilding our relationship slowly but surely. I realized that setting boundaries didn't make me selfish. It made me stronger. Looking back, I'm grateful for the experience. It taught me the importance of standing up for myself, even when it's hard. Sometimes leaving isn't about walking away. It's about finding your way back to yourself.